Kay Hansen is a 7'3" strawweight born in Whittier and fighting out of Fullerton, California. She captured her UFC debut win at just 20 years young, on 1 week's notice with no camp to speak of. Rising through the ranks of Invicta, Hansen has only faced tough competition while molding her MMA game. She's back in the octagon at UFC Vegas 14, ready to welcome a Contender Series winner. Backtracking to 2017, we got Kay Hansen's debut at age 18, the youngest fighter on the Invicta roster, up against Emily Prince, otherwise known as Emily King. Debut for her as well, fighting out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Start of the bout, Hansen all business, no glove touch, then catches Prince with the overhand, keeps marching and gets the body lock, punches in the clinch make way for the takedown, whole round to work. Minute later, Kay in mount. Prince tries to exit but leaves the arm behind. Hansen gets the legs across her opponent and tries to lock in the arm bar. Prince does all she can, stepping over, but in motion something pops and she taps. Kay Hansen grabs her debut victory with a round 1 arm bar. Only 18 years old but looked unfazed under the bright lights tonight. Got right to work, bringing the fight to where she wanted and got the tap in just a minute 23. Moving on to 2018, Kay went 1-1 in that time, now trying to make it 2 in a row versus undefeated Helen Peralta. 2-0 with a round 1 knockout. Late first round, Hansen working hard for the takedown, breaks down Peralta's base and gets her down to the ground. Round 2 back in the clinch, locks the hands around the single leg and drags her down. Third frame now, going for the double, hands wrapped and slams her down into half guard. Minute and change later, Peralta tries to buck Hansen off, but she's ready, re-engages the leg and gets the full mount, making Peralta pay with the ground strikes on the end. Still in mount but loading up for some big bombs now. Heavy elbows and punches, oh my, Peralta needs saving. Groundwork on display from Kay Hansen as she improves to 3-1. Had her way with the undefeated Peralta grappling and on the ground. Takedowns in every single round and Peralta never able to get back standing. Round 3 ground and pound gets the TKO tonight. Hansen was handed a second loss by decision, but now back in just 29 days. Short notice bout on 9 days notice against 5-3 Sharon Jacobson. 2 TKOs in the first frame for the Dreamcatcher. Straight to round 2, Jacobson on the offensive but gets stuck. Kay counter right overhand. Strikes bring them into the clinch and Hansen tries a trip takedown with the double unders, but Jacobson great defense. Late round 3, Jacobson crazy suplex attempt and Hansen ends up with an armbar right there for the taking. Mistakes were made and Kay Hansen capitalizes, snatching up the armbar with 17 seconds to spare in the last round. It was not Hansen's night in the first 2 frames, getting out-grappled by Sharon Jacobson, but she stayed in the game mentally and made good on the one mistake her opponent did make, en route to her 4th win in the cage. On to 2019 for Kay's 2nd official fight in the year. She took an L by majority decision, now back 5 months later to face 4-1 Nicole Caliari. All 4 wins by TKO. Early first, already in the clinch for Kay. Trip takedown to the mat and takes the back with the quickness. 2 minutes later, left leg working hard to get the hook as Hansen aims to take the neck. Instead, she elects for some solid strikes. Round 2 now, Kay backing Caliari up and catches the kick for the single leg. Opponent has an omoplata, but Hansen will eventually roll out. Round 3, Caliari trying to take the fight back, but Kay catches the front kick and easily brings her opponent down to the mat. Minute later, looking for some sort of choke, but switches grips. Seconds later, she gets the full mount and locks in the mounted guillotine submission. Kay Hansen puts in a demolishing shift at work, improving to 5-3 with a nasty guillotine in round 3. Ground game on another level for Hansen, and tonight she took her opponent to deep waters and drowned her with that Subway Sammy. Last fight outside the octagon from March 2020, facing Liana Pirosin. 7-3, but her last fight a loss to Invicta strawweight champ Murata Kanako. Now back in the cage, looking for vengeance. Early first, Hansen times the takedown attempt off the leg kick, gets the 50-50 and reverses Pirosin's trip, rolling into the back take with 4 minutes to work. Minute later, Pirosin back up, but check out this move by Hansen. Kicks the leg out while her opponent kicks her to make her trip and get back up to her feet. She accomplishes that often, and seconds later, she brings it back down to the ground to where she wants to fight. 2 minutes into the second, Kay deep on a single, picks her up with the hands clasped, and brings her right down into an advantageous position. Minute later, heavy ground and pound delivered by Hansen. Start of the third, as they trade kicks, we get to see some scores. This is actually the first ever Invicta fight with live scoring, as Hansen times the strikes and shoots, bringing her back into side control. End of round 3, Pirosin lining up a kill shot. She knows the scorecards. Kay catches the body kick and makes good on it, bringing her opponent down and ending the round on top. Dominant decision win for Kay Hansen, using her ground game to drain her opponent and end the night with her 6th victory. After a great debut win in June, she's back November 14 for a matchup versus 5-1 Contender Series winner Corey McKenna. It all goes down at UFC Vegas 14.